no video this time, and just some good conversation. I hope. We're gonna have Scott Browder as soon as he's done setting up. He's video recorded just for the nostalgia.
You chowing it now?
Taking his sweet ass time.
The bed's shaky, dog. Gotta make sure it's right. Aloha, brother.
Scott fucking Browder.
That's me.
I'm so happy that you came out to Colorado for TSG. Just got to hang out with you at Neo. Freaking Neo 7. Can you believe we're already at Neo 7?
Like, we're so old. Like,
bro, we've been hanging out since before Neo. Since before the first Neo. That's how long I know you.
It's been a long time. Man. Can you think how fast that went?
Oh, dude. It's like the blink of a fucking eye, man. Like, I look back on some of that shit. Like, because I don't even remember do you remember what month it was when Hunter and I came down to visit you and Bailey?
Listen, man, there's been a lot of things that have happened in my brain, and that's very ambiguous in my heart because I feel like I've seen you lots of times at my home area more than
I've been down in the South Carolina area a couple of times.
So it's
that's definitely something I
miss. It all
miss.
blurs together, man. Like, because that was like right after my car accident too, right?
Yeah, it was like a year and a half, 2 years. You were like just coming out of recovery and fucking throwing double backs. Yeah, tell me the story because none of these people know about your car accident. Well, some people do, but most people don't know about your car accident.
Well, let me just put a disclaimer out there that most of the things I'm about to tell you, I don't remember. Like, I have no recollection of this. These are stories that have been passed down by the people who were involved in them.
He just lived it. He just can't remember.
Nah. I hit a tree going 75 miles an hour in a Toyota 4Runner with Adam Davenport in the passenger seat of my car. We were leaving a session because we were locked out of my buddy's house who we were tricking out in front of. And we wanted some water, so we're going to go to my buddy Austin's house and get that water. Apparently, I took a wrong turn in the neighborhood, and they got in front of me. I was going to catch up to them. I didn't catch up. I didn't make it. So I went 75 and a 40, hit a tree dead on, and woke up a couple months later in a wheelchair with them telling me I was never going to walk again, never going to be able to have a cohesive conversation with someone. So,
and here we are having some conversation.
And no, there's definitely things wrong.
But so, like, what was that like the recovery and like they told you couldn't walk, and then like I see you doing all these crazy tricks now, and like I mean when I met you it was post injury. And like you already had the scars and like all the fucking metal up in your back, and you know you're just throwing double backs and just like ridiculously hard and dangerous tricks, and like continuing to hurt yourself, but like
I mean,
you just keep pushing.
You just gotta keep on going. Gotta keep on going. It was probably the toughest thing that I ever went through, and it was not done immediately after I got home either, because you remember the days when y'all would just cringe to watch me even try to do anything because you're like, well, my boy's about to die. He's got a separated spine. He's missing the vertebra. He's got metal holding him up, and he's out here doing things.
And doing things like kind of sketchy, like your muscle coordination wasn't fully there, and like
I was learning.
It's definitely getting hard now, though. I tell you what, like seeing you trick recently has just been like amazing. Like you're just killing it, and like you can tell that like you put in that time.
I feel like I'm not as good as I once was. Not like pre-car accident, but like there have been points in times in my life where I was firing off at home, but when I'd come out to a gathering or something like that, I would just get rigging wrecked. You know what I'm saying? Like just be so gone that it's hard to find the floor and your feet. But I'm changing that up in my life, and it's been for the better. I don't need to be that man anymore. I can be just sober Scott, which is such a similar man. It's just like the same guy. It's so weird.
Yeah, but like, what is sobriety like been doing for you compared to like when you're using all different kinds of crazy drugs, and like how does tricking play a role in that? Is tricking a part of you wanting to be more?
Definitely, because like if I can't trick, I do anything, and I can't trick like drinking. I can't do it. Can't swear to you. Now, if I'm drinking, can't do a back tuck. It's the worst stuff. It's the toughest thing.
Dangerous.
I just can't do it. But if I'm like, I can do it on other things, but it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do. Not that tricking's ever easy, but there's points in times where you're just like feeling it and it's good because you're not always trying to figure out if the floor is really there or not.
You just know the ground is there because you're not high as fuck.
And plus, you get it's just a lot. It's not as clouded. Everything's not as clouded, so I'm not having to work as hard to be as good of a person as I try to be. It's a lot easier to just grab on the reins and just ride.
And just be yourself without these like layers in between it.
Yeah, so I'm
about?
always the same person, which is what I've been saying. Like what I figure out, but so in that I don't need those things to be the person that I am, and I kind of always thought I did.
Gotcha.
I kind of always thought that like, oh, it's just a part of who I am. I mean, I need this to be the guy that I am, but then I figured out I definitely didn't, and it's just a lot easier. It's a lot easier to live life and do it to the absolute fullest when I'm not completely clouded.
Yeah. Now, do you remember much of your life before the accident? Like what you were like? Like, do you know how you've changed since before the accident to after? To, obviously you've changed a lot since I first met you to, where you are now. So like,
honestly, man, I remember the kind of guy I was, but I remember only negative things. I only remember the bad parts about myself because my self-image didn't really get wise until about the past couple years ago. So I had a really poor self-image for a long time after the car accident. And then before it, I just had this godly image of myself because I was a very talented young, very talented young man.
Get you some water. We got some of that Wakia water.
Adam always tells me that like I need to clear my throat. I just don't know because I can't feel it.
Yeah, Adam Davenport, shout out Shapes Mag.
Oh yeah, that Wakia.
Hooked it up with the Wakia water, which is delicious. Some Hawaiian volcanic water.
Shout out Hawaii, loving on the islands though.
He's been slinging this water at every gathering on the tour that he's been on this year, and I've got to say they have a nice bottle. It's good color.
To be honest,
they're not even sponsoring us. I just appreciate it.
They're great people. They kind of sponsor my life. To be honest, it's great because Adam's around all the time. He's my brother, so I get that Wakia. You know what I'm saying? I used to get this before he got sponsored. It just kind of clicked when he's like, dude, you got that water? And I was like, yeah, I love this water.
All right, but back to what you were saying. So, like, how do you think that you're saying that like you have negative thoughts about this than you were before, but like how has it changed? And like you said, like, your self-awareness has changed.
So you like Kid Rock. Right? Like he said, he had a song that says,
I wouldn't say I like him, but I'm familiar with it.
He liked Kid Rock.
I like some Kid Rock songs. I would not say I'm a fan of Kid Rock.
I'm a fan. I don't care. He is a talented artist. I've seen him live. Probably the most phenomenal artist I've ever seen live. He plays like
see, I don't have that life experience, so put it out there.
I'm saying I'm a fan. He's a fan too. He's just scared.
I'm not dogging you. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't call myself a fan.
he had a song. I listened to it when I was growing up. I was talking about that. You're not. It's not cocky if you can back it up. And I was a very talented, smart, quick-witted young man who's been dealing with a lot from his childhood. So I wasn't exactly the most humble person.
Right.
I was probably egotistical, if at best, to simply explain myself when I was younger. And I'm not that. I try not to be that way anymore. I try to be realistic with myself and everyone around me. Everybody's so nice. Everybody's so nice. Everyone says such great things.
They do, dude. It is insane how many people. I'm one of them. Like, people just talk you up, and like, I don't know why. I don't know how it is that like it's just like everything about the way you are, man. Like, you're a trip to start with. Like, you're just like so much because you just be saying shit sometimes.
But it all means something.
I mean, it does, but like honestly, it wasn't until like really the last like year, maybe 2 years, that I've really started to. You say about three that I started understanding what the fuck was coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, because
I guess that was when we started having like some more in-depth conversations.
Yeah, that was when I realized I was like, yo, Dylan don't know that I'm not just a psychotic look out here. Like, I got plans and things I'm doing.
Yeah, for real. There was definitely the first couple years of mine and Scott's relationship. I loved Scott, but he was always that person that I was like, I mean, he's just gonna like run through the brick wall, and like there's nothing I can do to stop it. And like he's just like a force of nature, and like not necessarily safe for himself. But like, yo, come to find out, Scott's got some real fucking depth to him if you really want to talk to the dude. He's thought about some things that, like most people don't realize that he's been thinking about,
Yeah, I mean, come talk to me, Put the plug out there. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at Scott Browder, ScottBrowder. We'll link up. I love talking to people about life and what is life.
And he's not playing either, and he will bring love into your life, like, and I don't mean in the romantic sense. I'm just talking about like positivity here, like he'll just make you smile and shit for no reason. Sometimes you'd be laughing at him because he's goofy as a motherfucker, but like,
that's one of my favorite things in life. Honestly, one of my favorite joys that I get is like when I'm driving out of a parking spot in like Walmart and I see this input stranger, like whatever it is, and I see this person and I shock at them and I smile because I'm literally trying emotionally to send them my happy vibes, trying my damnedest to get it out there. Like, I don't know what's going on with this person, but I'm sending them all my love. And then to watch them look up and light up and smile for no reason, that's one of my favorite things in the world. It's lit. I love making a stranger smile without talking to them.
Dude, and it's honestly half of it's your look, half of it's just like you gotta like just happy demeanor most of the time, like on your face.
So but
you're out here dressing like, Jesus or Moses, somebody from, the biblical era with like all kinds of, baggy swooping pants that are made of burlap, and then the pashminas that are just like draped like shawls over you with the shoulder length hair and the beard. Wrong skin complexion if we're talking about accurate Jesus.
Say it again. I'm the.
If Jesus was from Africa, we know he wasn't a white dude.
Nah, not a chance.
But we're talking about like the Roman Catholic depiction of Jesus. Like you out here looking like that, pretty dead on.
I mean, it wasn't intentional. Like, yeah, I just saw myself going bald, and I was like, I need to grow my hair out as long as I can. If I lose my damn hair, I need to have a lot of it to cover myself. Nah, I enjoy the beard because it makes people happy. It makes someone happy. So gotta keep that beard.
How do you know the beard makes someone happy? The reason I keep my beard is because it makes me happy. I like to play with this shit. And then every now and then it gets annoying and I shave it off and then it grows back. And it's this
we'll touch back on that beard subject later, I'm sure. I'm sure the beard will come back up eventually. Like, somewhat, you understand what, yeah. Yip cha.
Yeah, the people don't know.
They say it, y'all. Say yip cha nip na. It'll change your life.
They just don't.
But they will. They will.
But most people are not going to know how to use it in a sentence properly.
But it doesn't matter. They will learn. It'll come out.
Okay, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It will come out naturally when you understand what that fucking nonsense bullshit.
You know what's really funny? Is like metagame, like third person out here watching it. It's like, we just had a conversation about like making people smile. As soon as they say John, they're like, oh yeah, that's what they're talking about.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, love it. It was tough to learn how to walk again, and like the full spectrum of your first question. It was tough. The toughest thing was learning how to walk, and then the second toughest thing was doing what everyone that I loved and cared about they called and said it was my friends who banished me and said I can't hang out with you. We're gonna die again if we keep tricking. Keeping doing that and never stopping and never quitting, no matter what.
Well, you definitely learn who your ride or die friends are through that.
Well, I can't fault like my boys that I kind of lost in the path. Like Adam and my relationship changed, but
but at the same time, you guys are brothers till the end.
But
like, I see that when you guys connect.
That's what that made me figure out. I was like, oh, we're not always gonna be friends. Like I'm not always gonna be friends with Adam, but he's always gonna be my damn brother. So it's like it's.
Oh yeah, no, we were talking about that last night.
Yeah,
and like I've got that same relationship with my friend from back home, our mood.
Yeah, the boy.
Like we've been through some shit together, and like that's how real friendships are fucking hardened. Like you gotta go through the good times and the bad times, and not just like cash shit aside. And like that's what makes you like fucking more than friends, like fucking brothers. And like
I'm so grateful for that too, because like a best friend is a weird thing. Like it's a weird idea to have a best friend.
Right, because it's just like you just find a person that you just click with. Like
that's what is that? Like that's like all people have different relationships. What makes them your best friend? What is that? Do you get significant things you put your ring on? That's weird. It sounds weird to me.
It does. That is fair.
My best friend is gonna be my wife, probably, if I get married. Hopefully I get married, that'd be nice. You never know in today's economy.
They ain't gonna tie Scott down.
Nah, I mean
they'll try, but that's
nah, I'm tied down a bull, y'all. I gotta be real with you on that. I'm pretty loyal.
Nah, he wasn't like that. He found somebody, made his head spin.
I plead the fifth. Yeah. God, now I'm smiling.
Yeah. But so
yeah, save me.
Save you. Well, we move on to talking about God.
Oh yeah.
How many different events do we see each other at?
On the regular?
Because I mean, like you live in South Carolina, and when we first met, I lived in Virginia, and that was what 5.5, maybe 6 hours away, and isn't that about how long it was?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't speed like you, so I'm gonna say like 5.5 because I drive the speed limits out here.
No,
but
you can't not speed in the car that I have, and
you didn't have that car back then.
I had a Lexus back then.
Okay,
so that thing zooms too.
Okay, that's fair. But anyways, so we were like 5-6 hours away back then, and then in 2014. In 2014, Rudy and I moved out to Colorado, and we were then like 25 hours away. And I still managed to see Scott at minimum once a year. No, at minimum twice a year. At minimum twice a year, and sometimes even more than that.
If I can, man, I just do what I can, bro. Like you truly make time for the things you care about. Like you will, and I don't develop relationships with homies and people in the world casually. I do it frivolously, very frivolously, but not casually. I'm very intentional.
Well, I'm gonna need you to make that distinction clear for me because I know what
Alright.
you are talking about.
I'm frivolous with the amount of relationships that I try to upkeep and try to like.
Frivolous. Do you know what that word means?
I can Google it. I can't on my phone.
Because I don't
Frivolous,
know
like,
the
with like
textbook
willy-nilly.
definition. Yeah, like see,
So like I'm saying, what I'm expressing with the word frivolous is that I am quick to develop a relationship with just any old body, strangers on the street that thought they were strangers, but they weren't.
Sure.
But I'm not casual with it. Like if I'm going to develop a relationship with you, I'm not going to just half-ass it. I'm going to invest my time, my energy, my love. Of course, I'm going to come out here. You gotta have a tattoo.
That's true. Got the Torque tattoo on the wrist. Yo, search Scott Browder TSG promo on YouTube.
It's not the best representation of the current Scott Browder on the record, but
that was the Scott Browder that I knew back in the day.
you.
Yip John, if nah.
Indeed, most indeed. I'm like, goodness, how much is too much?
Well, Scott,
oh man,
you've been out here like helping with shit every time you come out. You got
this time.
The Torque janitor.
I made efforts.
Finally, the Torque janitor got upgraded. We got Scott on Torque Butler status.
That's right.
Said he's gonna get a tuxedo for next year.
Yep, it's happening. I might even get one for Neo. Like that. I don't know. I kind of gotta go. Like,
nah, you gotta go as the Messiah.
Explain the Messiah to you, because this is what
it wasn't. I couldn't explain it. Like you just everything about every article of clothing, every article of clothing, and just like everything about the way that he was dressed and his facial hair and like his just being was like, okay, like I know you're just like Scott Browder and shit, but like, you sure you ain't Jesus Christ? Like there was just, and it wasn't just me. There was like multiple people that would just walk up to him and be like, Scott, you got this like Messiah vibe rocking. Like not to be blasphemous and shit.
No, that's completely.
But but that's what people were saying.
It's like we're holding on to something that needs to be blasphemous. Is that a word?
Yeah, we ain't deifying you. It's just a comparison.
I mean,
but regardless, like that shit was hilarious.
Like I said about how I look, y'all, it wasn't intentional, or maybe it was. Make that happen? All right. Some things are intentional.
So, what was the first gathering that we went to after I met you and like came down to visit a couple of times?
Neo 1. Bailey. It was Neo 1.
Was it Neo 1? Have you been to every single Neo 2?
Duh.
Fuck yeah. I thought you had.
There was like one.
We need to find and like make a group and like people and just see how long we can, like how many people actually have been to every single Neo. Because, you know, obviously Matt fucking runs the motherfuckers. Shout out Matt Milhone for everything that he has done for tricking and the tricking culture with Neo over the years. Like, he just absolutely kills it, and the team that is with him absolutely kills it. You know, like I used to write those long posts on Facebook. Shout out Matt Milhone.
I'm saying cheat this way a little bit. You're cheating away from the camera.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Scott's got his camera because I'm not doing camera.
He's
just
really
doing audio. I'm just making myself comfortable so that I can see what's going on.
It's all good.
You're right. I'm like,
but not to stop the Matt Milhone praise, because that man is someone that I love.
For real, he deserves it. You know, like not many people have stuck around for as long as, you know, we've been sticking around to continuously push
because you
and-
love it,
and
man.
do
Because
things.
we love it. We can't go.
we can't go nowhere.
This is
There's an
like
option.
when them girlfriends that never go away, but you can't marry because
Yeah.
everybody else is with her, you know.
No,
But it's your best friends. Like, no. So let me tell you why I have this analogy. And this is so great. And this is deja vu. It's all lining up because I was supposed to tell you all this. Shosei Yuamoto told me, I was like, yo, you got a girl back home?
We can
Like,
talk about that motherfucker in a minute.
now I'm just telling you what he told me. And this is why I have this analogy and why I've thought about tricking like this for a minute now. Since last time I saw him was in California at Adrenaline. And I was like, he said to me after I asked him, hey, you got a girlfriend back home? You talking to girls? And he's like, tricking is my girlfriend.
And he is fucking the shit out her in public. Jesus. Have some decorum.
Think about that for a second, though. Like, that's deep. That is deep. My man said, tricking is my bitch. Tricking is my bitch. And I'm letting you know right now, you've been tricking it's longer, but I don't care. This is mine. This is mine. This is my girlfriend. Oh my God, I love you, Shosei.
That kid is just a monster. Like,
it's a pleasure
all right,
to
I'm gonna ask the hard question. In a battle, Mike or Shosei,
Mike.
You think for sure, absolutely Mike.
Right. 1,000%. I mean, I don't mean to put nobody on a pedestal.
I mean, I would definitely agree with you in the statement that Mike is the best tricker, but I don't necessarily know that every battle, like, I don't think that he could definitely lock it out. Like, I think, like, the odds may be stacked in his favor.
Here's what I'm saying here.
Shosei's on some shit.
Shosei's going to train like you've never seen to train for this. But what if Mike put in that training? What if Mike wasn't a grown man doing grown man things and still killing the game? What if he just decided, I'm going to spend the next month training to battle Shosei, knowing what Shosei is going to pull off? I'm sorry. He'll play as good. It's not. I love you, Shosei. I really do, and I love everything that you do. But I think you know too. Like, it's like it'll be close, but it won't be close. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a fortune teller, soothsayer from Louisiana with a crossed up eye. I'm just go check the man's footage from 2012 and 13 for a second. Then holla at me.
Okay, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I love the boy.
But
I love the boy to death. I really do. I love Jose with like passion inside my heart. He's one of my boys. But
like, maybe the odds would be more even than I would originally have.
So what you're asking right now is Goku and Vegeta fighting, but you know who Goku is.
I'm gonna piss some people off. These references do not land with me. I'm not a Dragon Ball Z kid.
Okay, well, everybody else caught that.
Yeah, everybody else knows what's going on, but right over my fucking head.
Okay, so it'd be like,
what'd you get lost in? It'd be like what?
I like the little lines in the voice, and I like wanted to see it go beep, like when the flat line.
Scott noticed the recording on my computer, and
just keeping everything honest up in here.
You just forgot what you was trying to say.
Yeah, well, I'm out here trying to figure out what I'm saying sometimes.
You're talking about Shosei versus Mike.
No, I already closed that book.
You closed that book? It's done?
It's done. It's done. I don't know what else to say. Like,
I don't know if it's for sure shut. Like,
here's what the
Shosei hasn't hit puberty
here's
yet,
the point.
bro. Like, his balls are in the process of dropping.
Right. We're talking about.
And when they do, poof. He is going to do some things to tricking.
All right, shout out Nick Vale, because I'm saying something that Nick Vale said to me that just rung so true. He's like, excited to see you get in there and trick. And I was like, yeah, you're gonna trick them? You're gonna trick me? He was like, nah, man, I've done my time. Like, I'm just coming here watching you guys do it, so it kind of makes sense. You've done enough. Like I feel like you've done enough, but I mean, keep tricking him down. And by the way, when I got in there, he was totally tricking. He's like, you lie. I knew you was gonna trick. Mike doesn't have to do anything else. Like he's done enough, but he's gonna keep doing it. It's gonna be exactly what it is.
You think he'll ever stop?
I hope and pray that we all can be tricking when we are 50 years old. And I mean, I want us to be doing the same things. I want us to be old ass men like these old ass whoops at these festivals. I see these people. Like, how are you still surviving? How? Because I think about that question every day when I look in the mirror. How am I alive? I'm grateful. Think about it.
Dude, what's crazy is how fast the time flies. We talked about that a bit earlier. Like every person that I talk to that's like way older than me tells me that they also feel like they're still like 18, 19 years old and just like starting to come into life, and like they look back on like all these memories, and it's like, shit, I'm only 26 and I'm like feeling like, yo, how crazy it is. About like 7 years. What's it gonna be like when we're looking back and we're talking about like, damn, that shit was 35 years ago? Cause like I don't plan on going anywhere. I was talking to Gabby about that at Neo. We were like, we're totally gonna be there with like our fucking kids, out in fucking Tent City, out at the future Neo
having to kind of look away from what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, we know what's good. I mean,
yeah,
that's ideal, dog. Like honestly, that's my dream in life. You want to know what I want? That's
dude,
what
when she said that, we all started.
Family to take to the gathering.
Right?
That sounds like what? Like in the what? Like yes. Yeah, a family and feed and give water to the world.
It's interesting the transition in tricking, because like as you get to a certain point in your life, you have to look at what you're doing and what you're engaged with and how it's serving you, because like you're not actually 18 forever, even though that's the way that you feel inside. And like I definitely had to do some of that when I was a bit younger, and like I'd been in tricking for a couple of years, and it's like, hey, is this something that is serving me? And it's like, well, it's not giving me money, but that's not what it's there for. It keeps me alive in a completely different way, and like that is something that I would never want to lose. And like honestly, I haven't thrown a physical trick, myself, and well, aside from the trampoline, like I'll mess around with a trampoline, but like I haven't actually like been out on the floor and trained in like months now, and but that doesn't mean that I love it any less. I'm gonna go train again soon at some point. I just, it's just like I go through these cycles because I'm getting older in my life, and like it's it hurts more when I trick, and then also like I gotta work, and like if I hurt myself tricking, and like that takes me out of work, that's gonna cause some serious issues for the rest of my life. And it's like you get different responsibilities and priorities when you get older. But I still, for me, tricking is definitely like a top priority. And like obviously it is for you. Like you were not planning on coming to TSG this year.
Well, I just
you out here
financially it's not. It's some things. I'm a blessed man. I'm living the absolute dream. But like I completely understand what you're saying. I had to because I had to have talks to myself. Like I'm not going to be able to do this forever. Possibly, maybe not. Like the doctors tell me this is not possible for me to be doing this. Like if I do this, I'm gonna die. Like it makes sense. I mean, if you look at the X-rays, you're not really questioning the fact that this is not something.
Yeah, the scars on your body are fucking wild.
Yeah, I got a zipper going on my back of scars because I had to like put in like a good foot or two of metal rods. Not quite a foot or two, but like a foot at least. But I had to come to that really when I had to ask myself, like, why am I tricking? What is the reason for me tricking? And I was like, I'm not tricking for other people because I might have I might have tricked and done a bunch of things that other people asked me to do because that's how I like to trick at one point in time. I was just throwing it. Didn't give a damn if I landed it. Didn't give a shit. Just hucking it, whatever. Like it was just back in the olden days, and that was kind of a good thing. Like if you're hucking some badass skill, people are gonna be hype about it.
And bro, you were hucking some shit that would like make people nervous. Like you said earlier, like
People would be cringing.
the homies would be like standing there cringing and just like, oh God, is he gonna? Oh, okay. He didn't snap his neck. He didn't.
Which
snap his
feels
neck. He's
completely
good.
tragic
He's
when
good.
you're trying to just be tricking with your boys and like you got to make it past those stages because they're not hurting your feelings. They're just concerned.
Yeah, no, it was love. You know, it was like, yo, he's about to wreck himself more. Like it's a miracle that he can walk. We don't want him to like screw that up again on some dumb shit. And you know, so we just wanted you to train smart, and you were out there. You not entirely reckless, but fucking determined. You know, like, and I think that was the biggest thing is like most of us didn't have like we had our own determination, but we didn't have to overcome some of the shit that you had to overcome. So like that determination like had like a fire behind it, you know, because like
it's just like I'm getting old, man, and like I gotta warm up now, and like to be the reckless man that I wasn't stretching. What is stretching? Like,
well, right, but I mean,
now I have to like really warm up and
yeah, but now your
your
tricks are so much better though. Like when you're out there doing them, like you're doing like full snapoos and like fucking double fulls and like I see you.
It's a good time. I mean, the dubs are always you got to keep the dubs on. I have a tattoo. I've never. The day that I can't dub is going to be a very, very sad day. And not to get grim, but like
straight up,
the
Scott
statistics are
made
against
us
me.
Move tables at Waffle House last night from table 4 to table 2 after we had sat down fully. And
damn dubs, y'all, you got to do it.
He's about the.
It's all about numbers. Check out
dubs.
Check out like these people who are incredibly the savants of life. How fascinated they are with numbers. Peep that junk. Numbers mean things. Numbers aren't words. Numbers are, well, yeah, that's a tough one. I don't want to go down that deep one. Numbers.
Yeah, we don't want to. We should probably wrap this one up soon because we about 45 minutes in. I think
we should go for full hours. We need an hour on this live. We got 15 minutes on this.
We're at 38. Okay, we could go a full hour. I just don't want to make it too long that people like won't listen to the end and get to the good shit that we're talking about. You know,
we're getting to the good stuff because you gotta get.
That's true. You do. You gotta get it started. Get the pondering.
So tell me, we don't provoke me.
We don't fully want to open that.
Not provoke me, Dylan. Give me something to tell these people that's gonna make
them think. I don't know. I'm pretty exhausted. Our conversations last night were insane. Scott and I stayed up after Waffle House, where he made us sit at table 2.
Gotta do it.
Which was amazing, by the way, at 3 a.m. Because that's the best time to have Waffle House. Like you can have Waffle House all day long, and it's a good time. But like, there's something better about Waffle House when you're like a little sleep deprived. You know, like just when your state of mind is just slightly off, that Waffle House food just hits you just right.
It's that.
But anyways, we get back from that, and it was like 4 a.m. probably. We ended up staying up for another hour talking.
It was 2 hours. We got back at like 3 then because we talked for 2 hours.
Okay, that's true because I guess we left at like 2:30.
Yeah, I came upstairs to watch some TV.
And Waffle House is literally like
belligerently got to talking.
Like 2 minutes driving from my house.
So yeah.
Which shout out new TorqueTalks location. Right, Scott? What do you think? What do you think of the new house?
I like it, man. Except for your
because there's people who may listen to this that have been to the TorqueTalks, but they know the Apollo Bay spot. And we out here on Prairie Ridge.
Honestly, man, this lit, but you got to get me out here more to take care of this backyard. Because honestly,
I know. I've been slacking. Well, the whole house has been slacking because it's not just my yard, but I'm the one who cares the most about the yard.
I don't know if that's true.
I'm like the front yard's good enough for them to trick in, and they can go to the parks and access gyms. Like there's so many sessions out here that you don't have to grass session if like there's not like good ass grass to session.
His intentions are like mixed around tricking. I'm talking about just having a bomb.
I'm talking about my roommates and their priorities. I like the reason my front yard looks nice. Like, yo, you see how good that fucking hedge looks? I took my time on that.
You did good. You did good.
That's a crisp motherfucker.
You did good.
I trimmed that 2 months ago. Still looking crisp.
What the hell's wrong with that bush?
No, growing slow because I tamed it back. I did it just right.
Yo,
put love into it.
They ain't getting no rain. Oh, it rained today and yesterday. I don't know.
Talking shit.
Trying to. So I want to tell them something deep, but there's just so much.
It's always dangerous when you open up a deep conversation, Scott. Not everyone is willing to go down the rabbit hole.
Oh, you wanted me to throw our friends under the bus earlier today, but
well, but that's because that was 2 of our friends.
No, it was like 4 or 5 people around. Like, yo, tell them about what you told me about this, and I was like, I can't tell you all about that because it's a visual thing to help you understand.
I have been fucked up with something he said the other night, and I had to think about it for a good 20, 30 minutes. I finally got there. It was interesting. I ain't gonna disclose it because y'all ain't gonna understand what the fuck it means. Because he's right.
Now they're just getting pissed. Now they're just getting pissed. Right, tell me something.
Yeah, so tell them.
The elves are real. That's about as much as I can tell you.
With no backstory, you're just gonna leave them with that.
Yep, I'm gonna leave them with that, and I can move on to something better. Let's see. Some people aren't blessed with the curse of wanting to improve. I don't know. I got it written down. Oh, it's over there.
We were talking about some shit last night, and Scott, I was like, yo, why don't most people think about this shit that like we're thinking about right now? Like, why is it? Because we were having some like deep, existential, like, why are we here type of conversation that was going into all different. We'll get to that. This is Torque Talk. It's more tricking. We maybe turn this off, and
tricking.
Start a different talk.
Let's talk about tricking then.
That we can, go into.
Now they're just gonna get upset. They're just gonna get upset. Like, okay, tricking.
But so, anyways, the thing that Scott said when I was asking, like, why don't most people think about this? And he was like, bro, some people aren't blessed with the curse of having to find themselves.
Yeah.
And, like, I just, like, went silent for, like, a solid 5 minutes. And then, like, even, like, 15, 20 minutes later, he was talking, and I would just, like, say the phrase out loud because it was still, like, I was thinking about it. Because, like, that really is, that is something that I actually think has some relevance to tricking. Because, like, the people who find tricking, like we're some weird motherfuckers. Like, most of us are not
weird.
like.
I'm very normal.
Just because you love your weirdness, Scott, does not make you not a weird motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like society's standard, like, and what the general.
Why does society love the weird guy? What is happening here? It's because it's all a game.
Well, it's
all a game.
Okay, now you're just diving into the heavy. No. Let's bring it back to tricking.
Tricking game. And here's the game. We all say it. Things were a game at one point in time. Now the game has escalated to a point in tricking where, double cork doesn't mean anything anymore.
Oh, that's definitely true.
Double cork doesn't mean anything anymore, and that's so wild. Like, it's like, what?
That is actually insane.
But the game keeps escalating because everybody's playing it, and everybody doesn't always know they're playing it. But trickers found a game they can play, and the other world doesn't have to play because the world doesn't. Not everyone.
Right, but that's what I was about to say. Is like, because like there's society standards and like there's this weirdness that like all of us have where we're like, yo, we're not really about that. Like, that's missing and lacking something that we need in our lives. And like tricking has this ability to to bring that to us. And it's, partially through the community, partially through the flow that it puts us into when we're like doing the moves. And, it's just the tool sets that it gives you on like that you get to apply to the rest of your life. Like they're just so invaluable. But like most people who found that, like they had to like go through other shit and like not fit in and like not feel at home in those places, and like then finally tricking was that thing where it was like, oh, all of you other weird people like make sense to me, and like we get along.
My theory has always been that
It's about to get loud in the background because there's all these people coming back to my house.
Yep, chop. My theory though, and it's always been this: that it's when you're born, you have this temperament that you're born with. Like some of us are born outgoing, some of us born more inclusive. Like we're inside of ourselves. We don't like a bunch of people around us. Some of us just have this thing that just wants to do this something, and things that normal people do that like we see everybody do just doesn't fit. It drives us to want to do something extra, something a little bit pushing boundaries inside of ourselves.
Like just the everyday grind is like, it's just so lacking.
It's the same thing I was saying. Not everybody's blessed with the curse of trying to find
well, and that's what I was trying to tie it to, is like that perfectly applies to tricking, is because like the people who found tricking are blessed with the curse of having to find themselves in it. And like we're lucky. We're lucky in a way, but at the same time, like there was something that we had to,
because you're doing.
But I mean, but like the curse aspect of it, where it's like there's something negative. It's like, well, you had to go through something, and then also like tricking, like we're beating our bodies up for real. Like this shit like
I
hurts.
Like talking about that part.
But I will say something. More and more I'm seeing triggers who've been in it for like 7-8 years, and they started getting serious about their conditioning and like stretching and like preparing their body for the moves, and
warm up
like
is key, people.
Doing all of these things, warm up, and then also cross training and like doing things between tricking and just not necessarily like straight weightlifting all the time, but
it
like
helps
mobility and like really just getting their bodies in tune. And they're saying, I don't know, man, like I'm like 28, 32, and I feel better than I've ever felt before.
And they don't really stop like growing, like they're peaking at like 35. Our prime is 35, so that makes sense. I'm curious to see Mateo when he's about 50.
Yeah, that's true. Mateo's just like what is he, 36 now? No, I think he just turned 36.
Yeah, Mateo, good man.
Yeah, Brian is 39, I think. Brian Skinner.
Yeah.
And he sort of tapped out about a year and a half ago after that knee injury, which, like I can't blame him. Like we gotta
pull it.
We gotta be able to move around, and like if you keep wrecking yourself over and over again, it gets difficult.
I don't think I'm gonna stop until it kills me.
There's a difference between stopping, being a part of the community and the culture, and adding to that vibe, versus doing the physical movements of tricking.
But
I haven't thrown a trick at the last several neos,
and that's great.
And that's like, but I've been there, and like it's been important for me to be there. Like I wouldn't miss neo for anything.
I have to trick. Like it's that thing that I'm telling you that's inside of me. I have to. Like I don't know if it's gonna kill me, but they say it's gonna kill me. But like if it does, understand, everybody, I died doing what I love to do.
And I've heard him say that more than one time in regards to tricking.
I mean, because real talk, it can happen. It can happen at any given point in time when you watch me do a flip. Something could go wrong, and that could be the end of it. Not to be dark like that, but like I have to make that choice.
Well,
you have to.
That's definitely true. Like something could happen at any point, and like that's why I usually live the life that I do. Is like sometimes I make some bad decisions financially, and it's like, I can get hit by a bus tomorrow. Yeah. Do I want to have like missed neo too?
The only thing that's
It's
kind of
crazy.
like,
That's a legitimate thought that I've had before.
yeah, because life is very fragile and it's such a gift, you know. It's like life is the opportunity to experience ourselves on this spectrum of light, and we get to absorb it up and put it out into the world. We get to, in the tricks that we do, we get to take this energy that is this something that's inside of us, and we get to put it out, not with words, but with shapes and tricks and whatever it is. I've seen some.
Well, it's just the flowing movement. It just allows for this expression and this like you get in touch with your physicality and like your body and like I definitely feel better when I move around more versus when I'm like if I lay in bed all day and then like sit in my chair for a couple hours, which like let's be honest, I've been doing a lot of that while I've been like reading and researching things that I've found interesting. And it's like that makes my body feel like shit. But like on the times when I am counteracting that and I'm like making sure that I like wake up and stretch and like do like 20 minutes of yoga stretching and like, like it's not like I'm going to a class, but just like moving around and like maybe a couple of weights. We got the weights down in the living room.
Oh, you be hitting those? I was wondering if you hitting those.
Everybody hits them a little bit, I think.
That's nice.
Like I know I do, and then Joey's definitely down there. And like I'm not like consistent as fuck with it, but like you know what? On the days that I go and do that first thing in the morning, I have a much better day. And tricking like I need to do more of the weightlifting to get myself back to a place where I feel good and I feel confident in my body so that I can go out and trick.
Let me tell you something about
like,
tricking.
Well, right now I just feel weak,
great.
And like I feel like I'm breakable and shit, and like I can't be breaking when I gotta go to work tomorrow.
You don't have to be fit to trick. You trick to get fit. It works. Just do the motions of those tricks. It'll get you so strong.
I know, but like I got injuries and weakness points. And,
are you kidding me?
when you break shit,
it happens. And they put metal in
there.
there.
Scott, that's why everyone was cringing when you would do shit. We're like, this motherfucker is made of glass right now. And like
still am.
That's why you're you, and I love you for it because you have this ability to just not give a fuck about that.
I give a fuck. I care so much.
But I don't think you do.
I have a purpose, bro. Whatever
that's clear as fuck.
My purpose is so. I'm not even being a spoiled brat with this purpose. It's just the fact that I know I'm tricking for a reason. I listen to the inside of me very, very well, and it brings me this happiness and this joy. And I'm so stoked to be alive and to be tricking and to be around and have the people that love and care about me in my life. It's astounding, and it's just such a blessing. It's such a blessing. I love it, life. Yeah, you're talking about you. It's a good time. It's such a good time. Like a life inside my head. I just try to think about sometimes when I'm tricking to put a piece of what is going on in there in the noggin out. And sometimes it makes me frustrated because I don't get to put out what I want to put out, but it's all love.
I think that's like a really important observation that you just made, though, is like that is the reason that people get so frustrated with when they can't hit that trick, is because like there's this expression of something inside them that they needed to get out through that trick. And when they didn't hit that trick just right and the way that they wanted to, that was like, they're just so upset that they didn't get to like share what they were trying to share and like put that expression out there, and like.
That's why I had to do double back. Had to be done. Had to do it. And then like it didn't work out one time.
just one.
Yeah, just one time. That's the only time it ever happened that way, and it was just happening.
That's the only time that you crashed the fuck was when I was there.
Yeah, Red Bull, yeah.
And broke your sternum.
But then, like, because of that, and I was like, I was like, all right, okay, I got to do this again. So I had to get that done. Got that done. Moved on with life. Sent the dough back to whoever else wants it. Y'all can have it. Take it from me. Or fix my sternum.
You're like, yeah, I did it. That's good enough.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, when you get your expression out there, it had to be done. Cool. Moving on in life. Some of us like to keep doing it. More power to you. Just risk for reward in my life and the conditions.
Oh yeah,
about it.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. So okay, so maybe you have a lot more things to express still, and that's why you like feel this crazy need to trick, because like you just need to do it. Mm-hmm. And like for me, I have this like tricking gives me certain things, and like when I do engage with it, it's really good for me. But like I get a different sense. Like my tricking and like where I really fall in love with it is like one in these conversations, because this is the most authentic Torque Talk right here for a couple of reasons. And I think that was the issue with some of the old Torque Talks.
What does that even mean though? Like, well, can you put words to a conversation that's art?
No, that's what I'm gonna like explain is like before I was like in the Torque Talks, like what we're doing right now, like we're just talking to each other. There just happens to be some nice microphones set up here so it doesn't sound like shit, and other people can listen to it. But like it literally is late night at a gathering. We're just hanging out and we're talking about the things that trickers talk about when they get together at a gathering.
And it's 12 o'clock at night.
And is it really?
I don't know.
It probably is.
I'm never so sure it is.
Because they just got back from bowling and they didn't leave until earlier.
Oh, they went bowling, dude.
Yeah, like 8. So
just in the zone. Like I'm so in the zone. Goodness gracious. I forgot they went bowling.
But so like with the Torque Talks that we did before, it was like all camera focused, and like I was trying to
guarantee we look good, by the way. I guarantee
you're probably right.
Flossing this up.
But so like what I mean is like I was trying to like put on this show, mm-hmm. and it added too many layers to the conversation where like there wasn't the conversation that was naturally taking place. And this is literally like
what was
the thing about. Because like, yo, if I had a microphone that was on me last night, holy fuck. And I'm not talking about just with Scott. I'm talking about with almost every single person that I entered into conversation with. Like it was just it was the end of the gathering, Saturday night of TSG, after everyone had like tricked and hung out all day, and like some people had, come back to the house and we were just hanging out, and like everyone was drinking and just enjoying themselves, not getting ratchet or anything. Not everybody was drinking. Well, but I was just like, it was a party vibe.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a party.
It was a party vibe, and not just like sitting around talking. But like it was a party vibe.
It was a good time.
People were having a good time. But then
Kerwin made 4 shots in a row in beer pong to save and give him his redemption. It was insane. Sorry, it had to be said. It was insane.
That's pretty impressive.
Insane.
On his redemption, so single.
So he had to get it back, and like we had to give it back to like it was insane. I don't even know the rules. Like I've never seen rules like that in my life, but he deserved that. Like he deserved every bit that he earned that. But please continue, sir.
But yeah, no, I just like the conversations that were happening last night. Like I really should have just like grabbed my phone and just hit record. And I think I might actually start doing that and releasing those conversations as well, because like, I don't know if you guys care, but I remember when I was a young tricker and first going to gatherings, and I would hear people who were having these conversations that had seen what tricking had been through. And like, I would just like sit around and be so fascinated with what they had to say. And like, there were other people too that would also sit around. And like, before you knew it, there was like four or five people not saying a single word surrounding two people talking. And then, a couple years ago, I found myself in conversations with people, and then that crowd started to form, and I was like, oh shit, like that's insane. Like I remember seeing other people, and I still do. I still go and like just sit quietly while other people are talking because like trickers just have this way of getting in touch with each other and like communicating about certain topics that most people are not, wanting to talk about all the time. And like not just deep things about like life and existence, but like also just like really interesting things about tricking or, about like what they're doing in their personal lives and just like I just feel like these conversations are just like so interesting when like a couple of best friends that only get to see each other every couple of months,
Dude,
like we get together and like there's so much to say.
We need a freaking. Trickers need an entire like state. We need to buy a state. Can we just? What do we gotta do to get Florida? I ain't real talk. Like,
do you really want Florida? Like Jordan May straight up moved here from Florida and has said to me, I don't ever want to go back. Like, unless it's to visit my mom. Like, like
before I lose this though, because I've noticed this a couple times. I noticed this at Neo, almost every Neo, but I never noticed it up here because normally I'm enjoying the Colorado weather. But have you ever noticed how like I was talking to somebody and then I ended up talking to like a lot of people because I noticed that here recently.
And Scott, you definitely bring a crowd and like entice the crowd.
It's weird, man. I mean, I don't even remember what I told these people. Like that's reckless. Like that's reckless.
Or is it that you're being authentic and like you're not worried about what's coming out of your mouth because you know that it's
I mean, I try to, what you gonna do?
Like honestly, there was like a couple of years ago, you definitely would say some shit where I'd look at you sideways and be like, "Scott, really?"
But it meant something.
But yeah, no, and there is that like Scott is the fucking fool, and I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I mean in an archetypal, the Joker. And
I don't know it, man. I don't know.
He makes you think about shit because he's just full of fuckery. And like he's nonsense, but he's gonna make you laugh and make you smile and like bring the tension down. But like at the heart of it is like some serious, some serious shit. And unless you got something else that you really wanted to talk about, I think that's the perfect spot to end it. Because I got to get Ethan done tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, I just want to say, much aloha to everybody and mahalo for listening and soak it up. It all means something. You're trying to.
All right, thanks guys for listening. If you enjoyed, hopefully we'll do some more of these because I really enjoyed this format a lot better than
this was fun.
Than the way that we had been doing it before. Because like I said, everything just turned into an interview, and that was not the purpose. The purpose was not an interview. It was to like chill with the homie and like have a dope conversation about the type of shit that we're trying to talk about that we end up talking about anyways at gatherings, and just like help bring that out to anybody who is listening to this and maybe doesn't have the opportunity to go to Neo or come to TSG or just get out to the different gatherings
and like, reach out like I said at the beginning because like I'm down to talk about this with anybody. I might not always make sense, but I mean something. I'm down. Hit me up.
And not just this, like just hit Scott up to have Scott Browder in your life. Like,
I'm down. I'm so down.
It's an adventure. His Snapchat is 18 and up for legal reasons.
Yes, absolutely. You have to be an adult.
But if
that sounds a little odd though, just to throw that out there, a caveat.
I mean, you'd be walking around shirtless as fuck. Sometimes you taking Snapchats in the shower. I'm not saying you showing things on purpose, but like
Nah.
we can't be out here
If
playing
I show
dangerous
things,
games.
let me know.
and-
No, listen. Is it too
I don't watch all your Snapchats. There's too many.
Nah, trust me.
I'll be watching a lot of them, but I'm gonna be honest. Like I got shit to do today, motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's for the laugh at the end of the day, because that's for me. I do it. I'm more talking.
When you Snapchat your whole day, I can't watch your whole day because I'm trying to have my day too.
Right, but like
I'm not saying don't do it because other people
are.
are trying to have. Other people are trying to live your whole day, Scott.
It's
But I'm just saying I got mine.
it's a good time. Like I try to share. Hit me up at Scott Browder.
What's the Instagram?
At Scott Browder.
There you go. Hit him up on the at Scott Browder Instagram.
18 plus
Instagram for the Snapchat.
For the Snapchat for sure though.
But hit him up on Instagram and he'll be best friend because he's everybody's best friend. Scott Browder is the shit. Thanks. Fucking can't talk now. Thanks for the conversation is what I was fucking trying to say.
Dude, it was lit, man. It was the way. Calling up to Jesus. That was lit.
We got that. That's Scott Browder.
Yo, I just had a vision. This is the second time I've had this vision of you taking forever to send these damn pictures to me. No. I say
access, brother. I'm trying. I'm out here trying.
No. I just happen to see it deep in the future. I'm like, oh man.
Let me see what this shit sound like.
No. You got like a speaker, don't you?
I'm gonna break it real quick. It just work.
Oh, okay. Break it with something.
So remember, I was trying to do it last time.
Oh, I got that on film too. Posting it, Rob. That was lit. I'm so happy that things turned out the way they did.